So in DC, Democrats are having their own internal debate about what should be done after the release of the Mueller report. Should there be more investigations? Should there potentially be impeachment proceedings? And they're going back and forth about the potential political like consequences of doing that. I know that while all this is going on, what the people actually think about it is largely irrelevant, but I'm still interested in it. So I was interested in this new HuffPost YouGov poll showing different ways that people have interpreted the Mueller report, what they've learned from it. And also, by the way, from the narratives around it, which have been driven by things like Barr's press conference, the Barr memo, and all of that. But with all that context, here are a few things that stood out to me. By a 10-point margin, 45% to 35%, people who've heard at least something about the report's release say it does not entirely clear Trump. Another 20% aren't sure. That's just a little bit depressing because it specifically says that it does not exonerate him on obstruction of justice. Maybe people answering that are thinking about conspiracy, and then they're a little bit unclear or whatever, but it's not ambiguous when it comes to obstruction of justice. It specifically says it does not exonerate him, and it describes a number of things that to me read as obstruction-y. And so I guess some of the base on Trump's side are never going to be convinced. We've got some more evidence of that. But if you want to live in a reality-based world, that is a disheartening poll result. Here's another one. 73% of Trump voters say it, quote, does not reveal anything damaging. Anything at all. Now look, I get it. Not a lot of Trump supporters are going to read the Mueller report regardless of what it says and say, oh, I don't MAGA anymore. I get that. But doesn't reveal anything damaging. I mean, he lies repeatedly throughout it. I mean, why did he lie to cover up the Trump Tower meeting? Why did he lie about wanting to get Mueller fired? Why did he try to fire him in the first place? Now, if you're a Trump supporter, you can say, in the end, I think the Trump Tower meeting was fine, or I think he should be able to fire Mueller. Okay, but it's suspicious to lie about it. It's suspicious to cover it up. To say that it doesn't reveal anything damaging means that 3 out of 4 Trump voters are implacable. They're unreachable. They're unconvincible about anything because they won't admit to any issue whatsoever. And that overall is a far bigger trend that I'm very scared about for American politics. You need to be willing to acknowledge both the good and the bad on a policy, on a value, on a politician. For instance, I support Bernie Sanders. I didn't quite get to it today, but I was gonna do a segment on how I disagree with something that he said in the town hall about impeachment of Donald Trump. I disagree with him on that. Still a supporter. I don't feel like an existential crisis about the future of my support for Bernie Sanders because I can admit that I don't agree with him on everything. I had a talk with Craig in one of the breaks about a few ways that he answers questions that I would finesse if I was one of his advisors. Doesn't mean I'm not a supporter of his. Trump voters, a lot of them don't have that level of nuance, unfortunately. Now, this is a little bit of good news, I guess, mixed with some bad news. 43% to 34%, so a plurality, say that they believe Trump attempted to obstruct Mueller's investigation. Look, believe that he tried to obstruct it is beating didn't, but only 43% say that he tried when it says that he asked someone to fire Mueller. And again, I guess I'm gonna go to my grave just bashing my brains in with my own hands over my inability to get people to acknowledge what seems like incontrovertible. If you think you can fire the person investigating you, that's the worst way that you can obstruct justice. If you can stop the investigation, what else? Like what game are we playing at this point? If you could do that, what do we care about any of the rest of it? And still, it just narrowly beats out. 1% of Trump voters say they think the report shows that Trump is unfit for the presidency. So to those 1% of Trump voters, you guys are the special ones. I don't even know. Like that's pretty amazing. We got 1%. We're number 1%. Only 2% of Hillary Clinton voters say they don't find it at all damaging. I don't think that those are valid statements though. Of course there's things that are damaging in it. I don't know why those 2% of Hillary Clinton voters are like, checks out. That's weird. This is not balanced. Anyway, overall, what effect has it had? We don't know for sure. The polls bounce around and all that. I don't want to go too crazy about any one poll, but I did see this poll. Trump approval sinks 5 points after Mueller report, tying all-time low. Tying all-time low, not dropping to new lows, not hitting 20% or anything like that. And we'll look at other polls and all that, but a 5-point drop in a short period of time is not nothing. And especially when he and state media over Fox News have been doing everything they can to portray this as a unilateral win for him, that's still something. So mixed results there, much to be concerned about, but interesting results nonetheless. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.